The Zitharian High Council chamber fell silent as Commander Vexthor activated the holographic display. 12 different species, representing the most advanced civilizations in the Andromeda sector, watched as data streams flickered across the translucent screen. 17 expeditions. Vexthor's voice resonated through his translator device. 17 fleets. Not one ship returned. The council members shifted uncomfortably. Earth, that small blue planet in a forgettable spiral arm, had become a graveyard for their finest warriors. Perhaps we should reconsider our approach, suggested Ambassador Krill, her crystalline form refracting the chamber's light into rainbow patterns. Reconsider? Vexthor's mandibles clicked in frustration. We've already lost thousands of vessels to this primitive world. We need answers, not retreat. That's when they captured Ivy. Ivy Chen had been conducting routine atmospheric research aboard the orbital station Horizon 7 when the Zitharian scout ship caught her in a tractor beam. No warning, no negotiation, just a sudden violent lurch as her small research pod was pulled into an alien hangar. She was a xenobiologist by training, not a soldier, but 3 years working in Earth's defense network had taught her more about alien psychology than any textbook ever could. As armored figures surrounded her pod, Ivy took a deep breath and waited. They wanted information. She would give them a story. Meanwhile, on Earth's surface, Jackson Rivera stood in the war room deep beneath Colorado's mountains. The holographic tactical display showed the Zitharian vessel hanging in high orbit, just outside weapons range. "Sir, they've captured Dr. Chen's pod," reported Lieutenant Morrison, her voice tight with concern. Jackson's jaw clenched. Ivy was more than a colleague. They'd survived the Krellian assault together 2 years ago. He knew she could handle herself, but the waiting was always the hardest part. "What's their position?" he asked, holding at 30,000 kilometers. "They're being cautious." "Good. That means they're learning." Admiral Patterson entered the room, her silver hair pulled back severely. "Mr. Rivera, the President wants options that don't involve Dr. Chen becoming a martyr." "With respect, Admiral, Ivy knew the risks. But they didn't capture her by accident. They want to understand why their fleets keep disappearing." Jackson pulled up historical data. "We need to let this play out." Inside the Zitharian interrogation chamber, Ivy sat calmly as Vexthor loomed over her. The commander's exoskeleton gleamed under the harsh lights, his multiple eyes studying her with predatory intensity. "You will tell us how you destroyed our fleets," he demanded. Ivy smiled sadly. "You really don't understand, do you? We didn't destroy your fleets. You destroyed yourselves." "Impossible! Our warriors are trained for centuries. Our technology is superior to anything your species possesses." "That's exactly the problem," Ivy said, leaning forward. "You see humans as primitive, weak, easy prey. So you come with your massive dreadnoughts, your planet cracker weapons, broadcasting your intentions across every frequency. You think overwhelming force is the answer?" Vexthor's mandibles clicked rapidly, a sign of confusion Ivy had learned to recognize. "Let me tell you what happens," she continued. "Your fleets arrive in our solar system, all weapons charging, ready to demonstrate your superiority. And we respond not with matching force, but with everything we have. Every weapon, every trick, every desperate, insane tactic our species has invented over thousands of years of killing each other." She stood now, meeting his alien gaze. "You know what makes humans terrifying? We're not unified. We're not peaceful. We spent millennia perfecting the art of warfare against ourselves. Every nation, every faction, every tribe, all of us learned to fight enemies who thought exactly like we did. We innovated ways to kill that you can't even imagine." Back on Earth, Jackson watched the intercepted transmission from the Zitharian ship. Ivy was buying them time, but more importantly, she was telling them the truth. "Pull up the Krellian assault footage," he ordered. The hologram shifted, showing the last moments of the Krellian armada 2 years ago. Massive warships, technologically superior in every way, had entered Earth's orbit expecting capitulation. Instead, they encountered coordinated chaos. Nuclear mines disguised as orbital debris. Kinetic kill vehicles launched from hidden lunar bases. Cyber warfare that turned their own ship's AI against them. Biological weapons. Gravitational anomalies. Even solar radiation weaponized through orbital mirrors. But the worst part, the part that made alien commanders hesitate, was humanity's willingness to sacrifice. Ships piloted directly into enemy vessels, stations self-destructing to take out boarding parties, Entire cities evacuated so military commanders could use them as kill zones. We fight like we're already dead, Jackson murmured. Because we know if we lose, we're extinct anyway. Vexthor stumbled backward, his confidence shaken. You're saying your species is too violent to conquer? No, Ivy corrected. I'm saying we're too desperate, too creative, and too collectively insane. When you attack Earth, you're not fighting a unified military force. You're fighting billions of individuals who've been raised on stories of last stands and impossible victories. We don't have a warrior caste. We're all warriors when we need to be. She moved to the chamber's viewport, looking down at Earth's blue marble hanging in the void. Your fleets didn't return because we threw everything at them. Not just weapons, but strategies your species would never consider because they're too costly, too unpredictable, too cruel. We mined our own orbits with nuclear weapons. We converted civilian ships into suicide vessels. We hacked your computers with algorithms designed by 15-year-old kids who thought cyber warfare was a game. Vexthor was silent now. Processing. Every species you've conquered before was civilized, Ivy finished. United, rational. They surrendered when defeat was logical. But humans? We're the species that looked at the atom and thought, how do we weaponize this? And we're the ones who went to the moon not for exploration, but because we were competing against each other. We don't surrender. We escalate. Hours later, Ivy's pod was released. The Zetharian fleet retreated beyond the heliopause, and the High Council issued a formal declaration. Earth was to be quarantined indefinitely. As Jackson helped Ivy out of her pod back on Horizon 7, she looked exhausted but triumphant. They actually believed you? He asked. She smiled grimly. I didn't lie about anything. I just made sure they understood the truth. Earth isn't unconquerable because we're advanced. It's unconquerable because we're absolutely terrifying when cornered. Jackson looked at the retreating alien ships on his scanner. Think they'll ever come back? Maybe, but not for a long time. And when they do, they'll come to trade, not to conquer. She paused. Turns out the best defense isn't making them think we're too strong to beat. It's making them think we're too crazy to fight. In the darkness of space, Earth continued its quiet rotation, a small blue world that had earned its reputation one failed invasion at a time. And across the galaxy, the whispers spread. Humanity fights like cornered animals. Like demons. Like nothing else in the universe. And the wise species learned to leave them alone.